For 40 days on God, Family, and Guns, we'll be focusing on God. We have a series on spiritual warfare, the end of times, the prophecy of Daniel, and the prophecy of Malachi. If you want to see our gun-related or Second Amendment-related content, you can see that on Patreon or the History of Weapons. Those links are below. When I first started this channel, I never could have predicted where God would take it, and I definitely didn't have any clue on what His plan was at all. When I dedicated myself full time to this, because God had asked me to, and stepped down as a principal of a Christian school, I remember telling my wife, and I think I said it in a video at the time, that my guess is by the time you get around to a year from now, it is not at all going to look like what we think it might look like. And boy, it sure does not. God has taken me on a big ride, specifically over just the last couple months. Definitely over the last year, but the last couple months He's doing something shifting, and He's doing something. And I've been really trying to lend an ear. Now, I made a video about a month ago titled I'm Done. And it was essentially just saying, I'm done. I'm done playing church. I'm ready to be about my Father's business and be the hands and feet of Jesus Christ as we enter into the times of tribulation. It's about being part of the remnant that Jeremiah spoke about, the remnant that Jesus Christ spoke about, and the remnant that John in Revelation spoke about. It's about being part of a group of people that, while the rest of the world is going the wrong direction, this small remnant of people follow Jesus Christ. And then I put out a video and said it's time, and said, if you were in on this, I don't know what this looks like. Just send me an email that says I'm in, and I put the link below, and I received thousands of emails. And then I was overwhelmed. I really didn't know what to do with that, because God never showed me the next step, and I don't need to know the next step. Is something that I've really grown to learn with my walk with God. So I just stand still and wait till He says take a step. Well, He said take a step. If you are part of the remnant, if you are like me, and I want to say that what I mean is that, if you live in a town of 10,000 people, there's probably one or two of you that are like this, where you're willing to do whatever God asks you to do, and you're focused on the Word of God, not the Word of man, not politics, not finances. Just you're focused on God. What do you want me to do, God? And then you're obedient to that, because you're about being you want to be about your Father's business, and I totally get that, but that's rare. Very, very rare. A lot of people say it, but not many people actually walk this walk. So I've been praying. I felt like God was saying, you got to go somewhere. There's somewhere you need to go, Mark. And I didn't know. I've been, throwing around some ideas about maybe traveling west, or maybe making multiple stops. And ultimately, as I prayed, God, where do you want me to go? Because I just don't want to travel. I want to go exactly where He says for me to go. As I was praying, God, where do you want me to go? I was invited on a mission trip to go to Cheyenne, Wyoming. And I didn't want to go. It wasn't part of a church. It's a non-affiliated group that I've worked with them in the past as a teacher and a principal, where they take high schoolers on mission trips. I've been with them to the Navajo Reservation in Milwaukee, a couple other trips. But they're going to Cheyenne, and I prayed a lot about it, and God just kept saying, it's in Cheyenne. And when I specifically said, God, show me where to go, He didn't point on a map or throw a dart at a map, but He did then send into my lap being the hands and feet of Jesus Christ in Cheyenne, Wyoming. So it's in Cheyenne. Now, I'm saying that because I want to meet people. I believe God's telling us to go to Cheyenne. Now, I know this is very, very short notice, but on July 15th, I'm going to open up the day to spending with you guys in Cheyenne, Wyoming. I don't know where. If you happen to have a church in and around Cheyenne or a building in Cheyenne, please message me. Let me know, because it may be that I go to Cheyenne and then God shows me where to go at that point. I don't know. But I'd like to encourage you all to, if you can make it to Cheyenne on July 15th, I think God's going to light a fire that's going to spread across the entire planet. And for whatever reason, that fire is smoldering in Cheyenne, Wyoming. So I'm going to be in Cheyenne from the 8th through, or from the 10th through the 18th, but it's on. I'm going to be working with these kids, and but it's on the 15th and possibly the 16th that I've dedicated that entire day to spending with the remnant to try to see what is it we're to do next. But I do believe this first step is to just meet. And this obviously won't be the only meeting. If you can't make it, you know, don't say, oh, well, I'm out. Like, that's not what this is. A lot of people won't be able to make it. But what I am asking is if you are going to make it, please RSVP at theremnantofjesuschrist at Gmail below. Don't send it to my regular Gmail. A lot of things, I mean, I have thousands of emails, so send it specifically to that one. Just tie it with the title RSVP. I just need to know how many people are there. I mean, if there's 3 of us there, that's awesome. If there's 3,000 of us there, that's awesome. I don't know what this looks like. God just said, go to Cheyenne. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Cheyenne. So if you can join me, again, email below. It's going to be July 15th, possibly the 16th. I don't know where in Cheyenne. As soon as I do, I'll let you know. So we're, you know, again, it's short notice, but sometimes God says, get up and go. I mean, he did that. I mean, that's how he does. He doesn't say like 6 months from now, go. He just says, get up and go. That's been how he tells people to get up and go places in the Bible in the past. Read Genesis. He's always just get up and go. So I'm going to get up and go. That's what I'm going to do. I'll be in Cheyenne the 15th, possibly the 16th. For sure the day of the 15th. If you can only just pass through on that day, that's great. I don't know where. If you have a facility in Cheyenne, please email me. Let me know. Otherwise, probably when I get there, I'll just start searching for the place. God says go. I'd ideally like somewhere out in the wilderness, in the desert, would be ideal. I think God's a wilderness kind of person. And we have a heart for the wilderness. I mean, we always have since Adam on. So let me know. Put it in the comments below. But Cheyenne, Wyoming, July 15th. Love to hear your thoughts on it. Put it in the comments below. If you like this video, click like and subscribe. If you feel called to support this channel through Patreon, that link is below. But the most important part of this channel, we take prayer requests, and never hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.